They say when a person vanishes, their shadow lingers. But what happens when the shadow learns to smile? This is not just another haunted tale. This is about my best friend who disappeared after whispering just 7 words. Don't trust anything that looks like me. Tonight, I'm sharing his last recording, and once you hear it, you'll never look at your own reflection the same way again. My best friend vanished after talking about the faceless man. His last message still haunts me. It's been nearly a month since I last heard from Evan. 29 days of silence. He was the type of friend who always dragged me into weird things, sending me obscure links at odd hours, daring me to watch cursed videos or read abandoned forum threads. He loved the kind of folklore that most people laughed off. Vanishing towns, old curses, things that wear skin. I always thought it was just a hobby, until it wasn't. The night he disappeared, I found a single voicemail from him. Just his voice, cracked and shaking. If I stop answering, don't come looking for me. But if you do, don't trust anything that looks like me. At first, I thought it was another one of his elaborate pranks. But then I found the hidden backup he left behind. Files he'd tucked away like breadcrumbs, as if he knew this was coming. Screenshots of threads, notes about an abandoned settlement called Ashwood Hollow, blurry photos of a warped house, motion camera stills, and one grainy picture of him standing near an old, sunken well. At the bottom of the folder was a final video, time-stamped the night he vanished. The recording started with blackness, just wet, uneven breathing, and a dozen voices layered over each other. And one of those voices was mine, saying words I've never spoken. When the image finally flickered, I caught a glimpse of Evan, or something wearing Evan's skin. It smiled too widely, and it didn't blink. Since that night, my phone rings every evening at 3:12 a.m. Always a blocked number, always silence, until 2 nights ago. That time, a voicemail appeared. It was Evan's laugh, low, wrong, stretched out like someone trying to remember how laughter works. Then his voice said, "Come to Ashwood Hollow. I'll be waiting." I should have ignored it, but I didn't. I left after midnight, alone. I packed my rifle, an old digital recorder, a flashlight, and God knows why, a bag of salt. Maybe because I needed to hold on to something. GPS couldn't find Ashwood Hollow. I had to type in the coordinates manually. The road twisted into dirt trails, then into forest paths, until even the signal died. By the time I reached the clearing, the world was silent. No birds, no insects, just a heavy pressure, like the air itself was waiting. And in the center of it all stood the house. Not built, more like grown. Its walls sagged like wet bark, the roof bent at wrong angles, and the doorway gaped like a mouth. I parked, switched on the recorder, and whispered into it. "This is Daniel. I've arrived at the site. Evan, if you're still here, I'm not leaving without you." The ground squelched under my boots as I stepped closer. A sickly sweet stench hit me, like rotting fruit mixed with metal. Something moved across the porch, but when I aimed my light, there was nothing there. Inside, the walls were slick with mold, the wallpaper peeled in strips that almost looked like skin. But what the photos hadn't captured was the sound. Breathing. Wet, broken breathing, coming from beneath the floorboards. The cellar. The wooden steps bent under my weight as I descended. The walls were lined with scratches, deep, jagged gouges, as if something had tried to crawl out. At the bottom was a well. Its stones glistened with handprints, smeared in brown and red. Some looked fresh. That's when I heard it. "Daniel!" It was Evan's voice. I froze. "You shouldn't have come." I lifted my rifle. "Where are you?" For a moment, silence. Then, right behind you. I spun. Nothing. But when I glanced at the well, the reflection revealed a face. My face. Only it wasn't me. Its eyes were wrong, too still. Its skin twitched like it didn't fit right. And then it smiled, stretching too wide, and it spoke in my voice. "Why did you look for me?" The reflection shifted, and now Evan's face appeared beside it, torn, stitched, incomplete. His mouth moved, but the sound was jagged, glass dragged against glass. "You weren't supposed to see this!" The cellar door slammed shut. My flashlight died, and in the suffocating dark, the voices began. Hundreds of them, some familiar, some weren't, all chanting in unison, "Give us your skin." Figures emerged in the muzzle flash of my gun, hanging from beams, crawling out of the walls. Faces that didn't fit, skin that sagged. One of them wore my smile. I fired again and again. The house shuddered, but they didn't scream. They rippled like masks melting. I ran. Something clawed at my leg, cold and jointed wrong. I kicked free, barreled through the door, and tore into the woods. Branches ripped my face, my lungs burned, but I didn't stop until my truck was in sight. The passenger door was already open, and sitting on the seat was my recorder, still running. I picked it up with trembling hands. The last thing it captured was my own voice. "You weren't supposed to come back." I don't know if I escaped. It doesn't feel like I did. The rifle is warped. My clothes stink of copper and rot. And when I play the recorder now, it only repeats one phrase, in my own voice. "I'm not who you think I am." At night, there's always tapping. 3 soft knocks on a wall that isn't there. And sometimes when I look in the mirror, my reflection doesn't quite follow, like it's adjusting. If you're reading this, listen carefully. If someone you love disappears and their voice calls to you in the night, don't follow, don't answer. And whatever you do, don't trust the face that doesn't blink. Evan's gone. Or maybe he isn't. The phone still rings every night at 3:12 a.m. And sometimes the voice on the other end sounds exactly like mine. Remember this: if someone you know disappears and they return with a smile too wide, don't welcome them back. Because once you open the door, they never leave.